Tangal greetings, my name is Ian Israel Manalo, and I will be explaining our program overall purpose. So, our program is a toy collector system that lets the user add, view, search, filter, and remove toys using a menu. The program runs continuously until the user exits. So, the user can perform multiple actions in one session. We used object-oriented programming to keep the program organized. The toy class represents the data, while the toy manager handles the user interaction and logic. This separation makes the program easier to understand and maintain. So, this is how to use our program. So, when you will add a new toy, just press 1 and then enter and then type the name of the toy. So for my toy, I will type car and then the condition of the toy that you will put. So my toy is new and the manufacturer of my toy is Petron and the length of my toy is 134 centimeters and the width is 40 centimeters. And as you can see, we have error handling. If you have an error in your input, it will just repeat the same input that you had a error with. So in our case, it's the width. So we will type again 40 and the height. So it's 90 and the weight of our toy. So it is 23. And if it is battery operated, since it's just a normal toy, I will put no. And the sound features, I will also put no. And interactive features, and I will say it's pushable. And in the number 3, we will display our toy. And just for notes, this program is will repeat until the user presses the exit. So if you choose number 3 and display our toys, it will display our toys. So this is our dummy data alongside the toys that we made. So this is the toys that I put, and if we will remove a toy, just press 2 and then the toy ID. So the toy ID of the product that I will remove is the talking robot. So I will just put 3. And then let's display the toy again. And as you can see, the robot has been removed. And then we can also search the toy based on the ID. For example, we will search the toy that we created. So, and then it will output the toy that we have searched. Then after that, we can also search the toy by name. So for example, we will search the RC car and then it will output the product that we have searched. And then also we can filter the toys by the condition. So we can put let's say used, and we will see the used toys that we have put in our program. And we can also search interactive features. For example, pushable. Then it's the program showed the car that we have created. And after that, we can just exit the program.
Tangal greetings. I'm Rojan Isaac Irinion from 2ITC. and I'm here to discuss the our project in OOP, which is the toy management system. Or so my part is the toy class. We're going to locate the toy class in our system. It's here. The toy.java, which is named the public class toy. The toy class represents a single toy. It stores informations like the toy name, the condition, manufacturer, size, weight, and features, even the toy ID. So instead of handling many variables separately, we group them into one object. Each time a toy is added, a new toy object is created. This makes managing multiple toys easier and prevents data confusion. That's all for me. Thank you.
For the toy ID system, each toy automatically receives a unique ID. Internally, the program uses a numeric ID for processing, but it displays a formatted ID like T #001. This avoids duplicate IDs and ensures accuracy when searching or removing toys. The ID is generated automatically, so the user does not need to worry about entering or remembering it.
Greetings, Sir Janus. My name is Michelangelo L. Valdez, and I will be explaining the Toy Manager class in our application or system. The Toy Manager class, this Toy Manager class controls the program's behavior. It stores all toy objects in an array list, is the array list, and handles the actions like show menu, add toy, remove toy by ID, then display, and search by names, filter by conditions, and search by interactive features. And this class connects the user's input to the data stored in a toy manager class or toy class, keeping this logic in one class, making the program easier to manage. And that's all. Thank you.
Greetings, sir. My name is Brian Regalado, and I'm going to explain our part, which is the menu and program flow. As you can see here in the Toy Manager file, this one is I'm going to explain until here. As you can see, the menu is displayed inside the loop. I'm allowing the user to choose actions repeatedly until they exit. So as you can see, if we run the code and we press here, 3, it will not like let me add a new toy. So as you can see here, here's the sample output. The toy ID, name, condition, manufacturer, size, and weight, battery, sound, and interactive features. After each operation, the menu appears again. So this design ensures smooth program flow and allows continuous interaction without restarting the program. It won't stop until you press the exit button. And here, so you can see, if we try to press 0, and so you can see if we press the 0, it will terminate the program. And yeah, it also prevents accidental termination. And that's all for my part.
Greetings po. I'm Jeric B. Pante and I'm explaining displaying toys. For this displaying toys are displayed in a table format using formatted output. This allows user to see multiple toys at once and easily compare their details. Whether displaying all toys or search result, the same format is used. This consistency makes the output clear and professionals. That's all.
Greetings po, Sir Janus. I'm Mark James Punumban, and I'll be explaining the searches method of our project. First, we start off with the search IG. Second is the search by name method. Next one is the filter by condition method. And last is the search by interactive features method. So each search checks the toy list and display only matching toys. This ensures accurate results based on stored data. Searches are flexible, so users do not need exact formatting to find what they want. That's all.
So, greetings, Dangal Bayan. I am Christina Figueroa, and I am here to show you the input validation in our. So, the program, it is validating the user input to prevent errors. If the enters valid data, the program will ask again instead of crashing out. This applies to numbers, a yes or no input, and deny this. This also ensures that the program remains stable and user friendly even when mistakes are made. So here is the toy manager.java that shows you the program, different types of programs. So first we have the menu, the main menu. It is initialized, and if the answer is -1 or integers, then it will print out that it is invalid input and it will return to the main menu. Next one, we have here the remove by ID. So this is one of the part of the input validation, which is if you enter a negative number or an integer number, it will print an invalid ID, which is will return to another menu. And also we have here the search by ID, same as the remove by ID. Well, it will use the user input and check if the number is not an integer. Next one, we have here a this feed in. So it is a private class, and in this try catch, whenever you are had an error, it will print that your input is invalid. Please enter a valid number. Then it will return to the menu. Same as with this, but in this part, whenever you input and there is no matching toys, or you input a number, if there is nothing, same with the being asked in the input, it will return no matching toys found. And last, here, this private boolean yes or no. So it will read the yes or no statement. And if you enter invalid no testimonies, or like it's not a yes or no, it will print out the please yes answer yes or no. So that's all for the input validation.
Dangal greetings po, Sir Janus. Remark Pasage po. And I will be explaining the remove toy by ID. Removing a toy is done by entering its ID. The program searches for the matching toy and removes it from the list. After removal, display the toys to confirm that the item is gone. This ensures that changes are applied correctly and the data remains accurate.
Hello, Dangal greetings, Sir Janice Raymontan. My name is Kenneth Ryan Sioka, and I will be explaining the testing and the overview of the Home Toy Manager class, the toy class from our project. So, quick discussion about our project. So, the Toy Collector program is a menu-driven CLI, which means we're going to use console-based interface since we are using the menu driven interface, which will include the add toy, remove toy by ID, display all, search by ID, search by name, filter by condition, search by interactive feature. So in this interface, in this method, which is named initialize, so when we run our program, the menu will loop until the user chooses 0, which is program terminated. So to ensure that the program flows smoothly, I have set the I have set this into a try catch. So any invalid input, which is entering a string, will be invalid, but it will be catched by our number format exception, and it will not terminate the program early. So the display will be in tabular form and using formatted spacing. So we used string that format so that we ensure that the spaces are dynamically aligned in each items. So the design is intentionally chosen to make multiple toy records readable at once. So to ensure that the data is being presented flawlessly. So the toy ID, which is in the toy class, we use this string type ID to convey the uniqueness of each toy. So we have T hashtag 00. So, and T hashtag, in this case, in the format toy ID, we have this condition. So every time that it will meet its condition, it will dynamically increment and it will not cause any bugs or problems. So I'm going to test each each function here and I will be explaining thoroughly what will happen. So when we run our program here, as you can see, the dummy data loaded successfully. That is because we I have initialized a dummy data for early displaying, so I can show you what will be the actual tabular form of our project. So here, as you can see, it is in tabular format, so you can see clearly the actual data and not misinterpreting something. So as you can see, toy collector menu has looped itself again because I didn't even choose to exit. So we can perform another task infinitely until the user chooses to exit. So the program, we make the program a user experience first as much as possible. So I itself is going to ensure that there's no biasing. So function 1, add a new toy. So this part is where we're going to add a new toy. Okay. Example, it's the name of our toy. So let me enter like yo-yo. So the condition is it new, used, or refurbished. So I will be going for a used. So it is a second hand. I'm just bought into my friend. Then manufacturer. I'm going to guess here. So I'm going to just put Bandai Namco Inc. Yeah. And then enter the length in centimeters. So our approach here and the size of the toy is, since we're going to follow the example of the sample on the instructions at 10 by 10 by 9, something like that. So our approach here is to do it separately, then combine it later. So length, we're going to put 5, the width 5, and the height, which is 5. So 5 by 5 dimensions. The toy weight, we make it in grams, just like what the instruction said. So 50 grams, or no, um, 500 grams. So it's battery operated? Well, obviously no. And sound features, you can put it in yes, because some yoyos do actually make a sound when you use them. So interactive features. The interactive features may be lights, colorful lights, colorful lights. So as you can see, the toy added successfully without any errors or any delays. So as we can see, when we put this when I enter the display, so you can see that the Toyo is been added. So it's incremented as usual, 006. And as you can see here, the data here is fairly readable. So next function, we have to remove the toy by ID. So the remove the toy by ID is we're going to enter specific number, a digit. So maybe you will be confused since you will see that our toy ID is obviously a string. So how we did do that? So extract by ID is here. This is where our method extract number. So as you can see, we manually compare, or we manually search for the digit, since they only you will only find the digit. So we have to make it a user friendly, so the user might type just 1 2 3 4 instead of entering all of the strings. So when we get back to our menu, so example, I want to remove the musical keyboard, so I will just enter 5 and then remove toy, and it returns the musical keyboard. So when we try to display the toys again, as we can see, the music keyboard is deleted. It's removed from the list. So for the fourth function, we have to search the toy by ID. So enter toy ID to search. So example, I want to search for teddy bear. I'm just going to put 2, but no matching toy spot because I accidentally, this is actually our user error handling comes. So I accidentally doubled the number 2 here when I enter. So it returns the no matching toys found. So this is a great user error handling, since it didn't terminate the whole program, but instead it loops me back again to the main menu. So I'm going to search again. ID to search, number 2, and as you can see, it returns the tabular form. Teddy bear. It is used, manufacture build a bear, etc. etc. So yeah. So in the fifth function, we have search toy by name. So enter name to search. Here in our table, we have already existing 5. So I'm going to search for puzzle cube. Puzzle cube. So here it returns as a tabular form, which is returns the actual product puzzle cube. So that's pretty much it. So filter toys by condition. When we filter toys by condition, number 6, entry condition, new, used, or refurbished, it actually returns the items that is associated with the word used. So here, we have the teddy bear and the yo-yo. As you can see here, there's no other toys added besides the used toys. So that is a great feature. Then search by interactive feature. So when you search the interactive feature to search, this is unique one because every toy has a unique interactive feature. So you have to make the make a method to compare the strings individually using the character at method. So here I have here contains strings for the name, and then contains manual here, so that the text and pattern, this is used for refurbish, used for refurbish and new, and this is used for the actual searching for the name. So not to confuse when I'm going to use colorful lights, actually it returns the yo-yo. So as you can see, it returns. So now for the final function, we have the exit, of course. So in theory, when I enter exit, it will stop and terminate the whole program. So we're gonna terminate. As you can see, you can type here anything because the program is terminated. So that's for our project of creating a toy class in Java. So thank you for listening and greetings once again. My name is Kenneth Ryan Sioka. See you in the next project.